So today's video is going to be a little bit different, and that's because I'm going to be going over my writing routine for the month of August. My writing routine is something that's usually pretty in flux, simply because I do have a full-time job. If you don't know me, hello, nice to meet you. My name is Jade, and I am the author of the cozy political fantasy, The Solstice Court, that is going to be coming out this September on September 20th, or the autumn equinox. I am actually not writing book 1 because book 1 is finished, it's ready to go. I am writing book 2 in the trilogy. This is actually going to be my second draft, but the first one I'm going to be sending to my editor, and it has a lot of pressure behind it that I have noticed I've been putting off, because this is the draft where I need to have my characters' motivations really strongly understood. I need to have the plot very much so solidified. It can't be the messy first draft that's so much fun to write, and it can't be the draft where I'm just kind of shaping things up and making them look a little cleaner so it's easier to read. This is the draft where I try my absolute best so that I'm not wasting both my money and mine and my editor's time. Because I do teach in Japan, I am actually on summer vacation where I do have admin days where I go into work, but I don't have any classes. This is an optimal time to work on my novel, but I did notice that I was dragging my feet quite a bit this July, so I've created a deadline for myself in August, and I will be finishing this draft, the draft I'm sending to my editor, in order to get going with the process so that I hopefully have a book out next year so that we can kind of keep the process going until the trilogy is finished. This won't be a full writing vlog where I talk about my writing, but the routine itself and why there's some things in it that I've implemented. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over into voiceover, and we're gonna go through my routine, and I'll kind of explain it as I go along so that you have an idea of what I'm doing in other writing vlogs as I go about my day. And I'll check back in with you after we go through my routine. Okay, so my writing routine is actually also a morning routine. This glass of water is when I finish before I do really anything else. Pour myself a glass of water, get my coffee started. I have tried just waking up first thing, no coffee in the morning, and going straight into writing, and sometimes I've gotten some really delirious good work in, but that was very much so a first draft space where I was just getting all of my creative energy out, and that was really helpful. But in this draft, because I need to have a more grounded perspective on my novel, I do definitely have caffeine before I get writing. I have a banana or some sort of fruit, something so that there's something in my body while I wait for the coffee to brew, and then while my coffee is getting ready, I started doing these stretches in PE class at my school, and I found that I was missing them as soon as classes got out, so I have reincorporated them in to my daily routine, and it's actually been really helping kind of loosen my body up and get me ready for the day. And then as soon as my coffee is ready is when my stretches finish. So I stretch until the coffee is ready. Once my coffee's ready, I go ahead and make myself some breakfast, and I do not start writing alongside my breakfast. I found that I will get really caught up in whatever I'm writing, and I'll only just eat a little bit, and then my mind kind of gets a bit blurred throughout the day. I also have hypoglycemia, so it's just not a good call. So instead, I have started putting my headphones in and listening to my playlist for book 2. I have my playlist in order, so I start with like the opening scene, and I just listen to my playlist until I'm done eating. I don't have my phone, I don't have any distractions. My phone is still in bed. I have not touched it. I won't touch it actually until lunchtime. Once I finished my breakfast and I have been listening to my playlist, I go ahead and get to my desk. I decided I wasn't going to have my morning writing happen anywhere else but my desk, because I want to give my brain a little bit more of a heads up that it's going to be doing some actual thought processes and that I was going to be getting work done. So I've sat at my desk and I turn my playlist off because I can't actually listen to sounds and read, and I read over the last scene or last few scenes to give myself context and tone of what's going on. Once I have finished reading the scene I've already written, I actually just begin writing immediately. I don't think about it, I just try and picture what's going to be happening next. And because this is a draft that I've already written in different forms, I do have an idea of what the next scene is and what needs to happen, and I'm thinking about the characters' development and where they are from the last book and how that has affected them and how it's going to affect how they interact in book 2. With that mindset and having had some water, some protein, some grounding exercises in, I get to writing. Until the scene is finished, I don't stop in between. So I do have a water bottle you can see in the corner there, and that's actually a water bottle I use almost as like a timer. Once I get to the halfway point of the water bottle, I can get up, stretch, and then I get right back to it, but otherwise I'm just going until the scene is finished. The water is kind of my saving grace, otherwise I'm just straight writing all the way through. If I do have something where the scene needs more research or context, or I need to describe something better, I go ahead and I stick it in brackets to do research, and I just keep going. Research is actually a really great reward for me, I found out. I can go on research ideas and like scope out my world for a very long time, so I don't do it while I'm writing the scene. I do have to wait until the end, but it's actually really fun for me to do. As I finish up the scene, I can go right into my research reward. If I don't have anything to research, I can go on to the next scene, but because there's so many little things and details, and like this is really where I start adding some polish to the book, I definitely usually do have at least one thing that I want to look at more deeply, and in this case it's actually Komodo, which are a type of drake in my story, so I'm finally getting to incorporate dragons in a really big way. Looking into and researching it has been really fun. I take notes and add anything that I want to add to the new canon for the book into my little notebook, and then once I know for certain that it's going to be incorporated into the book, I can add it into the master notebook. If it's not in this book, then it can be changed, but once it's in the book, then it's kind of written into the lore there. So I'm really careful about what goes in. Once I've added the notes into the master document, I can go back to the scene and add those moments into the scene or add some details. I don't share all of the details in the book. I think that that would be too much, but I hope that it's portrayed through that there's obviously more layers to what Komodo are, and they'll just slowly be revealed along with other elements of the story and the magic system. I'm really enjoying writing book 2 specifically because it has a deeper understanding and knowledge of my magic system and my world building, so there's been a lot more research, which has been just a lot of fun. Once I have finished the next scene, I read it over again, and then I just start on the next scene immediately, so it's very much so a literal read and repeat situation. I'm writing the next scene, going through, but that's what brings me back to the water bottle, because when I do finish my water bottle, I do get a 10-minute break to just relax. I can grab my phone at that point, but I usually don't finish my water bottle as quickly, and I end up just going on until lunch, and then lunch is when I do have my end deadline point. I don't have to write anymore for the rest of the day. Welcome back. This is no longer a voiceover, now it's just me talking. This actually works for when I'm at work as well. I still have the same water bottle rule. I do bring my water bottle to work, and then at lunch I'm finished and I can do my actual work, which is something that still exists. I have noticed that I get my best work done in the mornings. I can get the most amount of work done in the evenings because I get into that really delirious headspace where I can just keep going and going, and I have my second wind, and it feels like my hours are endless because I don't have to do anything else with my day. It feels like stolen time, and it can be really great for first drafts, but it's not how I have done my best work, so I don't do that moving forward. After lunch, I don't usually write. I read. I'm participating in Draconathon. I'm actually a host. Participating seems a little bit like underwhelming way of explaining that I am a founder of Draconathon. That's a month where we read dragon books, and it's been so fun to do this alongside making my own dragons. I can't tell you how exciting this month has been. I'm doing this after a few days of doing this routine, and it's just been absolutely amazing. I do want to share with you my schedule for the month because unfortunately after August my schedule will be vastly different. I have work once again, and then I actually have a vacation. We're going to go on a trip to meet my partner's mother on a little vacation, and my book comes out, and I just want all of this part of the process to be finished while all of that's happening. I'd like to go into autumn and this time of transitions feeling like I have my second book under my belt and that it's with my editor, and that I can just kind of let it go for a while, because this has been a really fun and really stressful experience. yeah, I would like the break. I'm looking forward to the vacation and I don't want to have it in the back of my head. I still have more work to do. I would like to just be present. If you'd like to pre-order or in any way add the Solstice Court to your TBR, I will have that linked down below as well. Any sort of engagement it gets, it just brings it further out into the world. And my main point of publishing this book was for it to get to its readers, because I was always going to write it, but I did want to end up sharing it, and that's been really fun. I want to share the second book with you as well, but it'll be a lot easier if the first book gains momentum. But back to August and my game plan. I actually have August mapped out to the halfway point, and then I will reevaluate where I am and I'll go on to the next half of August. Right now we are on August 4th. It says that I need to start on the chapter that I'm going to codename Dinner, and so I did actually do that this morning. I actually finished the dinner scene, which was really great. That's not the end of the chapter though, so I do need to keep going. I can't checklist Dinner off until it's finished, but my deadline for finishing Dinner is not until Tuesday, so it's okay there. I just need to do some of it today, and I did that. I also need to send out publicity for ARC readers for book 1. This is my second and final wave of ARC readers before the book comes out, so I do need to prioritize that. Hopefully I do. I haven't done it yet. I just had lunch and decided to film this, which is also on the checklist, is making this video and kind of explaining it. Moving on, I need to email influencers, book influencers, kind of try and get a little bit on their radar so that they know the book exists. If they want to rate it, review it, or in any way publicize it on their channel, giving them the opportunity to do that. Very nerve-wracking, not looking forward to it. Going back to the writing, I have Drum that I'm supposed to write on Thursday, then Garden. So I do have the chapters broken up into sections and they have their own individual deadlines. The final deadline being the end of August, the end of Draconathon, the end of my summer vacation. I would like to have the end of this book also finished. I have vlogged a little bit of this experience. I will have another vlog coming out. It's an actual writing vlog, but I did want to have a bit of context for how I'm writing, and I just kind of thought I would share anyway. Hopefully you found this video interesting. If not, don't worry, it's not my typical video. If you did like it, let me know, but whether you did or not, this video is finished, and I hope you are enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!